Hey everybody, how's it going? One of the things I've been wanting to do for a while now is go back and review some of these old guitars that I kind of sort of made. And I wanted to go back, do a bunch of setups, do a few repairs that are necessary, and kind of sort of do a bit of an overview and see what we can learn from looking at our past mistakes. The first one I'm going to start off with, the guitar I made for the Great Guitar Build Off of 2023, and I think you're going to like how this turns out. What it needs mostly is a bit of refinement, but I kind of sort of want to change a few things. And the first thing I want to kind of sort of talk about is the headstock and the nut. The headstock amazingly has held up a lot more than I thought it would. I thought this thing was going to fall apart really, really quick. And all the reinforcements did seem to work. It still needs to be refined. And there's a bunch of stuff that needs to happen here in order to make it better. I've been experimenting a lot with all these new style nuts that have come out lately, the metal ones and Geiger ones and stuff like that. But I think in order to really do a good review of them, I'm going to have to play all these guitars with a separate nut, like a normal one, and then kind of sort of do a comparison between both. So I might make another one for this. I'm going to see about that. Another thing I want to do is, the neck is actually perfectly fine. So I'm not going to be touching that, except for doing a bit of a setup and a bit of a fret dressing, because I kind of sort of rushed through the last one. The main thing I want to do here is the pick guard. Back when I was building the guitar, if you guys want to see the series of this, it was modeled after the Voyager spacecraft, and I wanted to use this gold sort of foil, and it's got a film on it now, but it's supposed to be kind of sort of really cool. And I wanted to do it kind of sort of to emulate the gold disc that was in the Voyager probe. So I want to make a pick guard out of this, and the reason why I want to change this out is because these are supposed to be dual separate kind of sort of out of phase pickups, and it does need work. They didn't come out the way I wanted them to. So I want to do a lot of experimenting with the pickups. I also want to do a little bit of the change of the shape of that. So what I did is I've got about 3 pickups that I have off of my Fender Strat. I'm going to make a pick guard out of this, put some Fender Strat pickups in here, and then that way I can play this guitar while I'm experimenting with the pickups, and hopefully eventually kind of sort of take them off back and forth and see what the comparison is like. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing, so may as well get to it. So I wanted to mention some of the flaws and some of the things that do need an improvement on. The very first flaw that I keep noticing, the workmanship was a little bit sloppy. Now I could blame the fact that I was in a bit of a hurry, but I think the truth is that I've gotten into a sort of pattern where I know I'm making a prototype. I know it's not going to anybody. And so I kind of sort of slack off a little bit on the details. It's really gotten frustrating because I'm looking at these minor little things that had I spent an additional maybe half an hour or an hour making sure that everything was completely lined up the way it should have been, then those little things wouldn't be there to annoy me. And so I kind of sort of underestimate the value of practicing good workmanship at all times. So that's one thing going forward that I'm going to have to keep in mind, especially right now as I work through my acoustic build. I'm going to try my best to sort of not fall into that trap. And then the second thing is the weight of the guitar. I'm still making my guitars way too heavy. I need to be more cognizant of the weight and the balance that I'm putting into these guitars. One thing that I have improved on though is being able to accurately visualize what the final product is going to look like. The changes that I need to make to the lines and the curves of this guitar are actually extremely minimal. And I'm not even sure that the final changes will be even that noticeable at a casual glance. I think the biggest hurdle is going to be getting the pickups to perform the way I want them to. Well, Here she is. I actually finished this about a few weeks ago, so I've had like 2 or 3 weeks in order to play with it for a while. And I have to say that this thing, I'm in love with it now. I mean, I really wish that gold foil pickguard would have arrived in time for the Great Guitar Build-Off. It really sets it off. And had it, I probably would have made that headstock out of brass just to match it, you know? I'm not really the kind of guy who's into a lot of bling, but I gotta say this looks good. So I'm actually really surprised at this guitar. I built this headstock to failure, and I really thought that, well, I thought it was going to fail, actually. I thought I was going to have a lot of trouble with it, but this is actually one of the most tuning stable guitars that I actually have. I don't know how that turned out. I don't know how I managed to do that. But I really thought that I built this on the edge of failure. And so I'm really happy about that, because I guess that means that when I really kind of sort of refine the design and do some real reinforcements to kind of make sure that it's a lot stronger than it is right now, it's going to outperform my expectations. These pickups sound really nice in it. One of the great things about pick guards is that you always get to kind of sort of play around with pickups, right? It's very easy to kind of sort of swap out one pick guard for another. So all in all, it really is just absolutely, I mean, the lines on it, I gotta say, I really love it. One of the only things I think I'm going to change is, like I said, a few modifications to the body. This part of the horn here needs to be changed. This needs to be dressed up and fixed a little bit better. But all in all, I actually think that this is my favorite guitar yet. This is probably the best one I've built so far. At least the one that I like the most. Yeah, anyway, it's going in the mail. Hopefully my friend Andy will do a proper demo of this thing finally. And in the meantime, I'll keep working on those pickups. So yeah, expect a follow-up demo with this really quick. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you guys soon.